Hey, everybody. Welcome back to State of Steelers. Today, we're going to be breaking down the performance by the Pittsburgh Steelers offense and looking at specifically the passing attempts made by Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to see what went right, what went wrong, the whole 9 yards. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And we're all going to watch and break down every single play. So, this is the first pass to George Pickens. This is what I can see as a zone. You're going to have a couple of places in a zones where you're going to be able to attack. Typically, that's going to be, between the area, between the hash marks and the numbers that are printed on the field. That's going to be your area. It's probably going to be around between, obviously, before or in front of the defensive backs, outside of the linebackers. And in this case here, Kenny Pickett does a great job. He looks to his right and he processes, sees that it is a zone, and then turns to his left, finds the open man, and makes a pass. I want to watch it. See right here, he's looking at his right to see if anybody's going to be coming out open. And then he turns to his left very quickly, before these receivers even break. And he sees George Pickens right there, 6 yards away, wide open in the zone. Let's take a look at the pass protection. Got hat in a hat with Mason Cole assisting James Daniels. Looks like it's a very well blocked play. Kenny had time. No pressure. Let's go on to the next play. This is the jet sweep / forward pass. Kenny passes to Calvin Austin. It's basically a handoff. Everybody's complaining about this play. Why'd you do it? It sucked. Couldn't do it. Now, I'm not saying that those things aren't accurate. I probably wouldn't have called this play at this moment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Steelers are kind of known for this. But watch Pat Freiermuth. He's in the tight end position on the left side of Dan Moore, on the left, outside of the left tackle, up at the top of your screen. He completely whiffs. So he whiffs on his block, and then he turns around and watches the play. It's not until right there when he's starting to get hit that he decides to turn around and hit somebody. Let's watch that again. Just keep your eye on Pat Brown. He misses. He's watching the play, and turns around to block. I don't like it. I think Darnell Washington would have been more suited for this this play. In fact, I think, I know Pat Freiermuth ended up catching, the touchdown pass, and that was a good pass by him. But outside of that, I don't think it was his best game. So here's the sack on 3rd and 5 on the first drive. And in this scenario, you gotta say that this is the fun that failed Kenny Pickett at this time. Didn't give him his time to go through his progression. He was going to have a guy open, but by the time he saw him, there was pressure in his face. So you're going to see it's another zone. And as I mentioned before, you're going to have some weak spots between the numbers and the hash marks. At the top of your screen, you're going to see the top receiver there. I believe that's Deontay Johnson. Doing a curl in right here in front of the 40, and he's going to be wide open. But unfortunately, Kenny, he does kind of eye Pat Freiermuth a little bit too long. You'll be able to see it from the other angle. So he's looking, and then pressure comes and doesn't have time. He should have thrown the bay. Made a mistake. I see the pressure up front from the line. So right here, he's doing all right. But at this point, you have to kind of say you have the middle linebacker there, and he's eyeing Pat Freiermuth. That's who he's looking for. Either throw it underneath to Calvin Austin, and he's going to get tackled by this guy here, or already start scanning to your left. It's not open at this point. See how he just kind of stays there for a second and then leaves, never really turns to look. So, so this is the next drive after the first touchdown scored by the 49ers. And this is after the -2 yard run by Najee Harris, where he just got blown up by Warner. This is going to be a 7-yard pass to Calvin Austin. This is also kind of like a screenplay. So it was designated to go to that direction. There wasn't any progression that was required for this play. Let's watch it. So you have the fake. I mean, I guess it could have been an art. He would have done better if he handed it off. He's got Calvin Austin out there. This is why I think it was designed to be a screen. You have Cheeks Core out there running in front of him, Isaac Seumalo coming behind him, and Mason Cole as well. Gain 7 yards, on a 2nd and 12 makes things a little bit more manageable. This is the next play. All right, so they just put Pat Fryermuth in motion. The linebacker followed him, and you have a single safety up high. A lot of this kind of indicates that this is going to be a man. Last time, this is the interception. Just throws it. I don't get it. Let's watch it from this angle, and then we'll rewind it and watch it again. So Kenny kind of looks to his left. I don't understand why he doesn't let it go. He has a guy open on the left side. Watch. Pat Fryermuth goes in motion. Kenny drops back, looks to the right. I guess he looks towards the middle. Let's see. Let's look at it from the top angle. All right. So you have these guys way off. We know that Kenny should know that this receiver is going to cut across. This receiver is going to force these two linebackers to follow him. This receiver is going in that direction. They're basically clearing this entire area out for this receiver at the top of the screen, the one nearest to the 40. And so you have Pickens, who's running the short, that's going to pull the two midfielders. You have the tight end at the bottom pulling the safety, and the receiver going, which is Deontay Johnson, going straight up to pull his cornerback. Look at the distance at the top here between, and this is man. Look at the distance. Even I believe that's Allen Robinson between him and the cornerback. It's about 5 yards. He's often 5 yards when he's doing his break. I just don't think that Deontay's the right option in this one. I think you would look at the guy that everything's getting cleared out for. He ends up being open. I mean, I would have liked him in a cleaner route, but it appears that Kenny's looking at him right there. He was throwing low all day. All he has to do is kind of throw it low and away. And that way these cornerback and safeties don't blow him up. Throws it deep to Deontay. Let's see what Deontay was doing, if it was a good decision. So Deontay is coming towards the sideline. You can see that that's where he's wanting to go. As I said, he's trying to clear for this guy. He's like not going straight towards the sideline, but going in a directional, to probably about towards the 55-yard line on the sideline is where he's running towards. And he's got to turn around and stop. And even if he doesn't slip, that's difficult. I put this one on Kenny. The processing, the decision-making, and then the throw on all three phases, just horrible. And he had time. Let's watch his eyes again, or watch his helmet. We can't really tell where his eyes are looking at, obviously. But he's looking. See, it looked like he just kind of glanced towards the left. As you can see, the guy's wide open right in front of him. I don't know. This is the following possession, first down. And this is in my opinion, a design rollout pass to Allen Robinson. No decision-making or anything like that needing to be made. I guess the only decision you need to make is if he's not open, you're going to run or you're going to throw it out of bounds. Let's watch this. Robinson goes in motion, play action pass. Now, I guess perhaps there's on this next play, this one is a play action pass that ends up going to Robinson. We'll want to see if there's any openings, but minimum game. Deontay's kind of open right there, but that would be a very difficult, that'd be a difficult task to ask Kenny Pickett to completely turn around to see him. And this is a designed rollout, in my opinion. Yeah, he had Deontay, but Deontay gets in front of Kenny. It would have been a very difficult throw to make. And I don't think Kenny is that guy that has that, off platform Mahomes, Josh Allen ability with his arm. He does kind of look at him, but I think he knows that that'd be a difficult throw to throw it back this direction or even straight when his body is facing towards the sideline. This is the third down play. This is after a no gain by Najee Harris. This ends up being an incompletion to Deontay Johnson in the middle of the field. Let's watch this. So right away, we have a single high safety. See what happens. It looks like this dude's blitzing middle linebacker there. He is. He has time, wide open. It's just off on the mark. The decision making, the plan, the scheme, everything worked. Just by Kenny. I mean, he's seeing the guy roll around him, and he's had some pressure in his face. So I think that this is just poor mechanics. Maybe he hesitated a little and overcompensated and threw it just a little bit too far. That one had an opportunity. This is the following drive. It is 1st and 10 after another 49ers touchdown. So this appears to be a play action pass. They're playing a zone. You got the zone open, man. You have the other side open, even worse. And it doesn't appear, we'll see how it is from the lineman point of view and then get a good idea of the blocking. But he has two guys open that the ball should already be out of his hands and already be, touching one of these receivers by now or getting pretty close to the catch if he's throwing to George Pickens. If it's Deontay, it might take a little bit longer, but Annex throws it to Jalen, and let's see what happened with the offensive line. You see right there, the ball should be probably gone, but he took a second hitch. I'll see that. Watch. He hitches right there, and had he just let it go and not hesitated, I think that this was a first down. Just hesitates. And this is the next play, second down. Let's see what we're looking at. We have two safeties up high. Appears to be a guy, a robber here waiting in the zone at the top of the screen. And you have Allen Robinson streaking across, and he's going to be wide open. But this one goes on the tackle. Doesn't do his block well. Allows Kenny to hit, and this almost goes back for 6. So Kenny was hit as he threw the ball, and that affected his throwing. I thought in game that, that ball was out before he got hit just because, it was a spiral and the flight pattern of the ball didn't look like it was affected by anything. But let's watch this. So it was Dan Moore and just kind of threw it behind him. So here we are, 3rd and long. This is after the false start by Seomalu, and the Steelers got pushed back 5 yards. Looks like you have quarters. You have 4 safeties up at the top, or 4 defensive back playing up high at the top. Just kind of making sure that everything's in front of them at the sideline or at the line of scrimmage. Sorry. They want to keep everything in front of the 35. Kenny had time. Kenny had an option too. Let's go back to that. Check out Jalen Warren. Now, I don't know if he's going to get a first down. He chips this dude at the edge. Kenny kind of waits to see if anybody comes open. Everybody's far up. Right here, Jalen Warren is in open space. Now, does he get there all the way to the 35? Right now, he's on the 10-yard line. That's a big ask. This is a very fast defense, very quick defense. Now, this play for this, defense, there's very few places you're going to be able to go. You're not going to be able to go deep on this. They're prepared for it. They basically move the zone back. Everything underneath is going to be open, including Jalen Warren. I think Jalen's a little bit faster than if he gets it here, he's going to have to make a few people miss. It's probably not a first down, but it's not a tackle at the 15 either. Let's watch the offensive lineman. Let's see if they're doing what they're supposed to. Pickett sees this big opening here, and that's why he takes off. But Dan Moore's guy gets to him, unfortunately. This is the following drive, as this was another punt. This is a 3-yard run by Jalen Warren. It is now 3rd and 10. So right here you have 2 safeties up top. Kind of looks like cover 2. Perhaps another zone play. Let's watch. Maybe not. The tight ends followed. Let's watch that again. I was going to be on. All right. So you have an inside linebacker inside of Pat Freiermuth, who has his eye on the quarterback. You would assume that you would probably be throwing in the direction towards Freiermuth's right side, where he's facing now, top of the sideline, to give him the best opportunity. And we'll see which way Freiermuth turns. He turns the wrong way. But even at that, if he turns the other way, it's going to be even worse of a throw. Maybe he thought that Freiermuth was going to head upfield. I don't know. I think Pickett ran or read, and a man, you really don't just want to sit there because your defender's just going to sit there. You want to cross and continue running. And so I think that they saw 2 different things on this play. I think that was what happened. It was a miscommunication between the players. It was a good play call. It would have gone to first down if these players were on the same. Let's watch the protection. Protection was good, just off pass. Now, this is the 2-minute drive that ends up going for a touchdown. This first pass is a 9-yard pass. Pickens, I believe. Let's watch it. So I think in this play, obviously, Kenny Pickett reads the defense correctly, knows where he's supposed to go. I think his first read was on point. I think a lot of the problems that I've been seeing thus far and when it comes to Kenny Pickett and his progression is that he struggles if the first guy is not open, which is kind of weird because last season he was good under pressure. He was good moving around the pocket and extending time and finding that second, third, fourth option in order, right? And this game, not so much. But when the first option was correct, when the concept and he knew where to throw, he made good throws and everybody was on the same page. Choice, right throw. He had time on this play. He didn't have anybody in his face. Just the following play. It looks like it's going to be man. And a lot of people were saying that George just stopped on this play. That's not true. George was going inside. And he has his guy beat too. I think Kenny thought this was a false start and was just going to lay it up, right, and see what happens. By chance. George is going to start to move inside towards the hash marks at this point. Kenny throws it as if he was going to run straight. And that's why it was overthrown. I don't necessarily blame anybody in this play, but they kind of are on the wrong page with each other. And Kenny had some pressure in his face. This is after the Najee run for big yards. I like this play. This play is one of his better ones. I think I would have liked the ball to be a little bit higher. You know, that way he can get out of bounds, because the next play is they're gonna have to down it. So I would have preferred it be a little bit higher and give your receiver a chance to run out of bounds and preserve another play. The 49ers have a lot of players, on the line of scrimmage, and some of them go in, some of them blitz, sometimes some of them come up. They're forcing Kenny to make his decision of where he's going to go and what he's going to do until after the snap of the ball. So they ain't showing him anything at all. We would expect. I mean, this is the National Football League. This one looks like you got verticals going up, and the two curl back. Just great play, great design, great concept. And Deontay Johnson is open. First down. Let's look at the protection. And he had a guy coming towards him, but I think he did overall fairly well. This is the next play. Pickett threw it out there pretty quick. I'm not sure if anybody was open or not. Let's watch. So his first reader is probably to be Pat Freiermuth or George. He don't like. He turns around. He sees this receiver breaking. That's where he wants to go. I don't think this is a wrong play or a bad play. And it gives his receiver opportunity to run out of bounds. I like this play, like the concept, like the decision. I like the throw. This is an incomplete pass to Pat Freiermuth. I know a lot of folks say that Kenny Pickett put this in the wrong place and led his receiver to get hit. I think that Pat Freiermuth is supposed to come up and curl in, not continue to run, which is why the ball is behind him. So had he stopped right here and allowed, one, he would have been protected from the safety, and two, he would have been in a better position to catch the ball. I think Kenny was thinking that Pat was going to stop at the top of the route and curl back, and instead he continues to drive forward and puts himself in harm and gets clobbered there in the chest. And so, like I say, once you got to break down the film to see who's at fault, who's not at fault. There's little things here and there. A lot of things probably could have been done a little bit better. And this game is completely different. You see where the ball hit him? I think he was supposed to have stopped and curled in. I think that's why that ball is there. I know he had a rough day with some of his accuracy on certain plays, but I'm not necessarily thinking that it was as bad as we all thought it was. There's another incomplete pass. Now this one is definitely on Kenny Pickett. He has a walk-in touchdown on a slant and blows it. I feel bad for Deontay because he would later get hurt, but and not score a touchdown. And he should have had this one. Let's see if Kenny had time. Was there pressure? Nah, man, that's just a bad throw. No pressure whatsoever. Oh, this was the fourth down play. This one also, I think, could have been done better. You might say that he's protecting McFarland from, the defensive back coming in on him, but it made the catch a little bit more difficult. And after seeing so many plays that his accuracy was in question, I think that it just kind of opens your eyes a little bit more into something like this being low as non-intentional. Let's watch this one. I like his progression here. See, he looks up at the top. I think Deontay is open. I don't know. Maybe he's just looking to try to move the safeties or freeze the linebackers a little bit and tries to come back to the middle. He's looking at Pat Freiermuth here. There's three guys there. He decides to hit George on the outside. think it would have been a better decision up top with the, but I don't know. Maybe the play was designed for him to look this direction to open up the right side or the left side. This one, Kenny Pickett's getting hit, ball's underthrown. My question was, did he, was it a smart decision to go to the top? So right here, he's probably going to see what he's probably looking at and thinking is that the top cornerback there is going to break down on Deontay, and Allen Robinson's already beating his guy. If he puts it up in the corner, he should be wide open. But they pass him off. George is pretty wide open. I don't know if it was a good decision. I see where he thought they were going. You see, you got man. So he's thinking it's man. Fortunately, there was a penalty there. Now here's the touchdown. So his first read was his decision. Good throw, accurate. I mean, it was in the only place that could have been caught. This is the first play of the second half for the Steelers, after the McCaffrey long touchdown. So the score is 27-7 at this point. This is the Deontay injury. I think it was a good decision, good throw, good. Everything was good. Just the injury kind of just, made it worse. Right? Made a good play really bad. Let's look at the protection. Seumalo is getting beat right here again. I think there was a couple of plays there. He got beat. Not a lot, but a couple. This is one of them. Fortunately, the guy trips over. Dan Moore is also, this guy's getting some pressure in, but enough time to sit in the pocket and make the ball, to throw the ball, and does it accurately. So this is the next play. 1st and 10 at the San Francisco 49. Kenny drops back. Based on this lineman here going out, this is a design screen. See, I don't think this is the side you want to do screen towards. James Daniels is not the fastest guy, and he's got like 2 braces on each knee, or a brace knee, but basically 2. I think he's got one on his top knee, and underneath his knee, there's another brace on both legs. It's not a good look. And I went to training camp last year, and I didn't think he was going to be a guy that you would see pulling. I think Isaac Seumalo ends up getting in front of him, and you can see he's, right there on the hash mark, way behind him. It's down after a 2-yard run by Jaylen Warren. Quite a bit of pressure. Inaccurate throw. We'll replay that again. Let's watch it from this angle first. So James Daniels just got beat. Can't say it any different. Now let's look at what's going on up top or down the field. All right, so it's man. You have your linebacker coming over towards cover, make sure that Jaylen Warren isn't going to go anywhere. I believe Calvin Austin running a slant. He's going to come wide open, and you have George Pickens also running across. They're basically running across each other. The goal is one of these receivers, they're going to basically rub off the cornerback to wide open. And on this side of the field, on the bottom side of the field, you got a couple of players out there. And on the top side of the field, there's nobody there. So if Calvin Austin can get in front of this cornerback who is not in the right position, right? He's facing towards Calvin Austin. And as soon as he cuts in, this guy's going to lose his feet. And I think this could have been a completed pass before the pressure gets there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he could have completed this. He ran out a little too early. So you can see right here, there's Calvin Austin. He does a little fake like he's going outside. You can see his little juke. That makes this cornerback face him. Right here, he's just looking down the middle. I'm not sure if he's eyeing one of these receivers or not. I would assume he sees this. And this right here, this guy's going to fall. He got faked out and he tried to turn around too fast while backpedaling. And the ball should be probably thrown right about now. Could be a lot to expect from a young quarterback. Be net picking. That was a waste of a down. This is the next drive. This first down. Let's see what happens. Appears he has time. That's really the only play you had there on this play. Everything else is pretty much covered up. Not really much you can do there. Next play. This one was a bad one. I think this was third down too. So, whose fault was it though? Was it Kenny's or was it Robinson? Now, let's look at it from this angle. So right now, I think he's checking where the linebackers are. Kenny Pickett, that is. And he sees this guy coming open. I think he's expecting Allen Robinson to sit right there, continue to protect him from this middle linebacker up top that would take his head off if he continues to run. I think that's the reason why it was so far behind. There's a punt. This is the next drive after a fumble. Now let's look at that again. Was that a dump pass or was that something that was designed? Yeah, this is after the TJ Watt sack fumble on Purdy. Let's see what happens. So it looks like you got, from first look, some vertical, some go routes across the board, and you have Najee coming crosser in front of Pickett, which is where he goes. He kind of has this guy open at the top, but not really. Let's watch this again. So safety dips out, cover two. I mean, I would throw it to Calvin. You're seeing press coverage at the top. This is man coverage on Calvin Austin. Somebody pressed him. That should have been thrown out to the outside. There's no way that guy's keeping up with him. It is what it is. First down, gain of 4 yards. That's the next play. I think this is the Calvin Austin pass interference play. Yep. I like the decision. I like the throw. I don't think I saw anybody else too wide open. Let's go back. Yeah, it's his own, it's his own play. So you got the right here outside of the linebackers between the 30 and the hash marks, the weakness in the zone. That would have been a good place to go with it. But that's being picky. I think he did an all right job throwing to Calvin Austin. Let's check out the not really pressured. It's good to go. It looks like they're playing a lot of zone, and right here, that's a good spot. Again, 20s. This is outside the 20 a little bit. Yeah, Najee screaming, "I'm wide open!" Right there around the 20. I don't hate it, to be honest with you. Let's check out the protection. That's good, but he got the ball out quick. So 80 goes in motion. Nobody's following him. Could be an indication of zone. I don't think I saw anybody open though. You know, I don't like to throw, but I think he had anyone. Let's rewatch that. I mean, guess he had Darnell Washington. That's the zone 10 hash marks. Between the numbers on the sideline and the hash marks is typically where you're going to find the soft spot. He should know what these guys are running. Just never looks, never comes off of his guy. Yeah, he does a little pump fake and he just tries to get him open. This is after a 2-yard run, so it is by Najee Harris for the first down. So it is now 1st and 10 again. This one, he was just going to put it up for Pickens. He knew where he was going to go. He was going to give his guy a chance. Try to look off the safety and then just throw it up. Maybe let him a little bit too much out of bounds, but that's where you want to throw it. Give your guy an opportunity. Now, was this a design or did you not see anything? A 6-yard pass to Anthony McFarland to the San Francisco 8. Yeah, it looks like it again. That is just going to be a design play to the running back. I think everybody else is just he threw it out there pretty quick. He really didn't give the play a chance to develop. So usually when those things happen, it's probably designed to go there. Under pressure and pass for no gain to Jalen Warren. Let's watch that again, see if there's anybody here that got open. Right here, he's looking at Pat Freiermuth or George. I mean, that's going to be a hard throw to Pat, but he's on the opposite hash mark, so I don't know. That was probably the only option or the only throw he had. I like the way he got out of trouble there, but just didn't get it. Now, this is the play that everybody gives Matt Canada heck for because you're at the 8-yard line and you have go routes. I picture that Mike Tomlin tells Canada, hey, I want you to run the play that they're never going to expect. So Canada tells Pickett, Hail Mary inside the red zone. But I don't think that's the case. I think that this play was designed, Pat Freiermuth the ball, and I think he turned the wrong way. I think that these go routes obviously were just to push the corners back to the back of the end zone and get Pat Freiermuth underneath. But I think he's supposed to turn around, but he goes the wrong way. I think if he ends up turning the other way, this is a catch and a touchdown. So right here, I think he's expecting Pat Freiermuth to fake and then turn outside. You have this safety and Allen Robinson. You have this defensive back underneath Allen Robinson's a little bit far. In fact, he doesn't get to the ball. It hits the ground. It was right where it needed to be had he turned the other way. Now, maybe perhaps he was held there, Pat Freiermuth, and pushed out of the way because he does kind of run into him. The guy grabs him. This should be a penalty. He's still grabbing onto him when the ball is in the air. It should be a freaking pass interference. And so if he turns around, he's going to be around this white line in the end zone, which is right around where the ball landed. I think it would have been an accurate throw, would have been a touchdown, and nobody would have been complaining about Matt Canada's play call there. So it's turnover on downs. This is the next drive. They are starting at the their own 4-yard line. No, the cornerback gave Alvin Austin a lot of cushion there. It was a good throw, good, smart decision. end up getting a gain of 9 on 1st and 10 backed up in your own goal line. I think this is a pretty good play. I like it. Another play that I like, he's hitting his players in the zone. Let's check out the protection. Yeah, I like it. There's the decision making. It's gain of 12 yards. Can't complain. So this drive is moving in the right direction. If the cornerbacks are going to give the receivers that much cushion, the receivers are going to run and just stop and catch the ball for 9 to 12 yards each time. Now it looks like the defense is adjusted. And the Steelers did not anticipate an adjustment in this play. So as you can see, they're coming back. He's going to come back too. And the defense of the 49ers are like, hey, you've done this 3-4 plays in a row. We're not going to fall for these, comebacks. At this point, you probably want to change the game plan, right? Definitely one on Canada. Protection was good. Kenny had time. Let's see if they get back into rhythm. It's 2nd and 12. Kenny has time. There really isn't anybody open right here. You have, I believe that's Connor Hayward being double teamed on Robinson, guys on him. George Pickens is covered. Calvin Austin is covered. I don't think you see anything here. It's a good decision to scramble out. Then he sees Connor Hayward come open and hits him. That was a good play on Kenny Pickett. This is what we were kind of expecting to see. This is what we saw a lot of last year is, all right, it's not there. Move, make something happen down the field. So this is after a 5-yard run by Najee. This is probably Kenny Pickett's first play of the game. So this is probably the worst play for Kenny Pickett. This is the interception that he just kind of forced to Connor Hayward. Let's watch it and dissect it. All right, so you have 3 backs going back pretty deep, and you have George Pickens on press coverage. Connor Hayward has a linebacker on him. So I'm guessing and I'm assuming that Kenny Pickett is thinking that Connor Hayward is going to be more athletic, he's going to be able to get to a certain point before Warner, their best coverage linebacker, and probably the best coverage linebacker in the game. But I think Kenny thinks this guy's going to beat him. Just kind of eyes him. Like I said, this is a zone, and between the 40 and the hash marks is where you want to target the zone. And right here, you got a guy coming open. Connor took the middle linebacker with him. So the design of the play, in my opinion, is going to be right here to, I think that's Allen Robinson. I'm not sure what Pickett is seeing, because in my opinion, and I'm not an NFL quarterback, obviously, I'm assuming that up the middle go is to clear the middle linebacker out of the middle of the field, that this guy who's just outside of the first down marker comes open over the middle. And it worked, except for the decision and the outcome. Let's watch the protection. He's got time. He really didn't have to force it. You can see Allen Robinson right there, wide open with a lot of space in front of him. Like even if Warner's not there, I don't think Connor's getting that ball. It's too high for him. Warner's just an athletic specimen at the middle linebacker position. Just unfortunate. And here's the last drive of the game. 1st and 10 at Pitt 25. Kenny drops back, surveys, incomplete pass. Let's watch that again. So you have two safeties in the middle up top. Appears to be another, and this could be man on one side. I think that this linebacker up top here on the 30 is kind of in charge of if the ball goes underneath. George Pickens, he's there for the interception. If the ball's thrown out, towards the sideline, he's in position to at least make the tackle. And you have the outside cornerback out there in case it goes deep. He looks to his other side. I think he's thinking about throwing it out here to the outside receiver between the the 35, who's appears about to be making a cut to turn around. But that cornerback is facing Pickett. He's looking at him, so that's not a good decision. He could break on that ball pretty easily. It was really not very much places to go. Let's check out the protection. And by this point, Chiefs core 4 has been injured, and Broderick Jones is in, and so is Moore on the right side. I believe. It looked like it on that last play. Now Cheeks in there. My apologies. Protection's good. It was a successful play. This was the bonehead play by George Pickens where he gets up and says some stuff, ends up getting a penalty and driving the Steelers backwards. I mean, the game's over at this point. It's 30-7. I didn't see anybody open on this play. Can't Pickett takes it runs with the ball, but I guess Allen Robinson right here, running across the middle. Really nothing there. Takes off with a run. Gains a few yards. It's another first down. The success of the play is good. I mean, is there guys running somewhere else? Maybe, but you got to look at what he's seeing. If he sees something open right there, he's gonna throw it there. If it's there's a possibility of getting a first down or some yards, you're gonna throw it there. You're not gonna miss out on it to cross the field to see if anything else is happening. No, this is who gets beat here. Dan Moore gets beat, and then from the inside. Who was it that got beat from the inside? I want to see that. Was it James Daniels? Was it Mason Cole? Yeah, it was Mason Cole. They did a stunt and he came around. The initial pressure was coming from, around from Dan Moore. This is the next play. And again, some more pressure. Let's look at the protection on this next play. Moore gets beat with a swim, but does enough to give protection to Kenny. He had time. This was a good play, a good extension. It's a good pass. So all in all, so far, what I'm seeing is it's not so much concept. There's been a couple of plays there with a concept, and I'm saying a couple, very few, that the concept failed, right? I've seen where a lot more where the players were just not on the same page. I did see some inaccurate plays by Kenny Pickett. So Broderick Jones is out there. Dan Moore's off to the right. This is where Broderick Jones comes in. And Dan Moore just gets beat to the inside. Jones did pretty good for himself on the outside. Let's watch the next play. Dan Moore is allowing pressure on Kenny Pickett. Broderick Jones looked good. The thing is, even when Broderick Jones or when Dan Moore was on the left side, was he doing better? Yeah, but he was still allowing a lot of pressure. He wasn't as bad as on the right side. I'd like to see Broderick and Chukwuefor out there at the same time, see what that looks like. This time Kenny has time, makes an accurate throw. A lot of this is just garbage time. This is the last drive of the game. Offensive line did what they were supposed to on that play. Looks like they're going to blitz. They drop back. Kenny still gets tackled. Let's see whose guy got him. Oh, no. Isaac Seumalo, again, got beat. Not very many times did he get beat, but he did get beat on this play and one earlier. A lot of improvement that needs to be made across the board. The players need to be on the same page. Tight ends can't be missing on blocks and just watching the play behind them instead of trying to find some more work to do. Embarrassing play by the offense. I thought this probably was more on Kenny at first after watching the game. After watching every single play, I think that he did have his faults. There was some moments where he wasn't accurate, but I questioned the decision to Deontay for the interception. I questioned the decision to Hayward and on that interception. But I do think that he did do some good things, and that had him and his Pat Fryermuth or Allen Robinson been on the same page, I think some of these drives get extended. But that's going to come with time. That's going to come with gaining chemistry and trust. I think Pat Fryermuth he had a pretty crazy knee injury at the end of last season. Fortunately, it didn't end up with surgery like that. But at the end of the day, I don't think he was like 100% at the beginning of like training camp. I think it's time for him to get back out there and whatnot. So I don't know how much chemistry he has with Kenny Pickett, but I'm sure they'll get on the same page here pretty soon. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. I think I'm going to be doing something like this every week. I might break down some running plays. Probably not going to do every passing play, just a few of the passing plays. But I felt that in this game, there was a lot of him going in a lot of places. And I wanted to see, what was it, and give you guys an opportunity to see every single passing attempt alongside with me. So if you're still here, please subscribe, hit that like button, ring that notification bell. You know what to do. With that being said, we'll see you next time. Peace.